Hey friends, it's Sarah, and today I am watching the final 2 episodes of Daisy Jones and the Six. This is gonna be another reaction style video because from the posts on the internet that I've seen, is gonna be a lot. So I figured a reaction video would be more interesting. So far, the episodes have been getting better as I have been progressing through the show. There's still things that I'm really not keen on. For example, Karen, everything that Karen does in the show is a betrayal of the book character. And it really hurts me because Karen's my favorite character in the book. And then also in the Eddie Camilla stuff, not a fan of that. The Billy Daisy stuff, where they actually kiss and are explicitly into each other, hate that. Things I do like about the show, the music's fun. I love Simone's story. I just want to watch a TV show that's just Simone. I think they should have not done the Daisy Jones and the Six show, and they should have just made a spin-off of Simone. That would have been that would have been in everyone's best interest. But yeah, we'll see how these last 2 episodes go. Last time when we left off, Daisy had OD'd and Nikki had put her in the shower and was getting ready to leave town, and Billy finds her and is like, oh my god, don't die. So we'll see what happens after that. Okay, we're starting. We don't start off where we left off. They are playing Fleetwood Mac. Iconic. Nikki's still here. Oh. I kind of love that scalloped bed headboard. It looks like something out of The Little Mermaid.
How much do you
So she remembers that Billy was there.
Where was he?
Where was Nikki the whole time?
Daisy.
She throwing stuff at him? Oh my god. She threw his suitcase and stuff at him and he just picked it up to go. I'm like, did you have your stuff in there? You're just taking your empty suitcases. Oof. Oh, Kieran, being a good friend. Oh boy. That is a strong start to an episode. I like that they kept with the idea in the book that she realizes on her own that Nikki's not there to care for her. We haven't really got the fact that he's a con man. I feel like that hasn't really made an appearance yet. Or we kind of it kind of glosses over the fact that he's a con man. You just kind of he's just a dick. But I was worried that they were gonna have Billy be you need to break up with him. But I like that he was just kind of, I guess, a witness to what happened. And it also shows that even though her and Billy are at odds with each other, she still trusts him and is goes to him to be you know, you were there, what actually happened? I know you'll tell me the straight truth. She doesn't ask Nikki. But, I mean, obviously Nikki's pretending that everything's fine.
Even in shambles, Daisy.
Is she gonna start crying on stage?
But this...
I mean, not surprised she doesn't want to pick up. You were, horrible to her. And she did so much for you, Daisy. Daisy's over the party life. Is this in the book when she's comes to his hotel room and is I want to be sober? Oh, you make it worse. Kind of an echo of when Billy said that she makes everything better.
I hate.
She doesn't like showing her vulnerability to him. So it's not quite the scene in the hotel where she wants to get sober. She's like, that was too much, but she's not quite ready to sober up. And I like that Billy offered to take her to rehab. And it's I am safe for you, but she's just not quite there yet. You get back on your side of the tour bus. Stay away from her, buddy.
Isn't the right word for it. No.
What not sober, but she's toned it down.
For myself.
She just hates it when Billy tries to take care of her.
I almost died the other night.
That's so messed up. She's I almost died. And they're we love you. That's horrifying. And then she turns it into woohoo, party time. They're at a punk rock show. And Eddie's we're over. We are obsolete now.
Yeah. My little sister plays your record all the time.
Oof.
Dream bigger, little bird.
I like that Daisy likes kids. You can just tell that she has this to be loved, but also to share love and to nurture. Oh, Teddy's not looking good. He's all sweaty. Oh no, Teddy. Oh. Oh, Simone. Oh my God, Simone looks incredible. She's
Hot off
just,
the presses.
she's an icon. She is the moment.
Well then, Attic Records.
She's got a record deal. Oh. Yes, baby.
There's just one thing.
No, what's the catch? It's gonna be like you can't be out or something.
We should talk about.
Warren just like jamming out. Warren has also been like a highlight in this show. Like he's just like not in it a ton and it's just kind of like low key, but he's very funny and he's just kind of like grooving along. The condition for Simone is that she can't be out. She can't be seen with Bernie, something like that. Oh, Simone has to choose between Bernie and her career. Oh no.
Bernie, this is what I've always wanted.
Oh no. Oh, Simone. She just can't catch a break, this poor girl. I like funny girls.
It's a real
I'm not intimidated by you.
You know what's a real turn on for me? Drummers in rock bands.
I thought she was gonna like turn him down and be like, you don't have game, but she's like, actually, I love drummers.
Are you serious?
Are you serious? Yes, Warren, get it. No, Teddy, no.
I mean, I should have been dead long.
Kind of interesting that when Billy's like, I should have died a long time ago, and then he's like, Ben's dead, I started a band, I met Teddy Price, I met you. He doesn't mention Camilla, who is a big reason why he survived a lot of these things. He's like, you're telling me there's no like angels looking after me? I'm like, no, your like guardian angel is Camilla. Like she's the one who was like, you need to get yourself turned around. We have a kid. You need to like figure this shit out. And she wouldn't take no for an answer. She's like a force of nature.
What about work?
Depends. How stressful is your work environment?
Only the most stressful. I'm trying to remember in the book when Teddy dies, because I thought it was like now. They're really drawing it out.
I love you,
He
Teddy.
says he loves him.
I
That's
owe
so
everything
good.
to you. If you died, I can't. I don't know what I'd do.
Billy. It's nice seeing that relationship between Teddy and Billy. They're definitely doing it because when Teddy dies, it'll be so much worse. But
What I said was awful. And I'm so sorry.
Daisy.
it's interesting. Daisy like tries to apologize, and Simone's just like, "No, we're okay." I think she deserved an apology. I think she should have let Daisy apologize because what Daisy said was horrible and kind of homophobic, and obviously Daisy wasn't her best self then, but she still said those things, and she trusted this guy that she had known for a few weeks over Simone, who was like her best friend. I think Simone deserved that apology, and I think they should have let Daisy fully give it.
I was dating.
He's so excited. That's so funny.
But for the first time, I think I could imagine a version of us.
You saying you were in a
house.
relationship? Back off. Daisy's like incognito with like this giant hat and this like giant fur coat. Like you're not really dressing very inconspicuously.
There is one song that I am.
Check, please.
As soon as Daisy's like, I kind of like wrote something. There's like, let's go. We gotta go right. Graham's cake is being complimented on his music. Tender boobs. Suki Waterhouse. I'm so sorry, girl. You're just not that great an actor. Daisy, did you write a love song for Billy? It was always you. This is a lot. You're singing to him too. Get your hands off her! Don't touch her! It's kind of interesting because you see them, like you see Daisy writing a few more songs than ones that are on the Aurora album, but obviously they never get made. I like that they kept Graham being like, it's not like you have to talk to Karen, this is nothing for me to say. I kind of hate Graham's reaction of being like, well, you don't want us to date either, so like maybe you'll change your mind about the baby, and that, you know, his first instinct is to be like, don't worry, we can get a new keyboardist, and she's like, I'm not giving up my career. Like that's kind of been my main concern throughout this whole relationship. That's pretty close to in the book. Oh, everybody didn't see their families. Oh, and poor Daisy doesn't have anyone. Oh, that's so sad. Ooh, I love Camilla's dress. That's very cool. I want to wear that. Actually, everyone's outfits right now are really cool. I love Daisy's like denim kind of patchwork thing and Karen's like sheer blouse. I want all these outfits.
I loved you in that Jane Wilder movie.
Everyone's like, I'm sorry, you famous movie star are dating Warren?
Don't count yourself out this early, Daisy.
A lovely little pep talk
are
from Camilla to
all sorts of
Daisy.
things you don't
I
even
love
know.
that.
So wait, you go by Dr. Loving now?
Dr. Loving. Oh,
Doctor
hey,
Dental
oh,
Services. That's something you guys will never have. Financial security.
He's like, hey, I got financial security. This is so much better. Man, Karen and Camilla just like chatting through their eyebrows. That's crazy. Oh, I have the happiest kitten in the world with me. Here we go. Billy once again stealing the show. And Eddie being like, you get everything I want, you bastard. Bruh, you can't be smiling at another woman on stage like that. Oh, and Camilla is taking Karen to get an abortion. And she did not tell Graham. But, like, I don't blame her. He's so ready to have a family. Like, and she's like, this is, you know, my body, my choice. I don't want to have to get into an argument about this. You don't really have input. No, Simone! It's Bernie. Oh.
Well, I
Says
think
we're gonna
we
be
will
together in 20
together
years.
in 20 years.
But he
Writing
needs the
songs,
band.
sold out
We should be
crowds.
together.
Daisy, like, we should be together. Girl, he's fucking married with a child.
I want that too.
I want that too. Billy!
She's my wife. I'm never gonna leave her.
I'm never gonna leave her. Yeah, you're never gonna leave her. Daisy's like, I see how it is. Gotta kill Camilla.
I mean, just
Get your hands off her. Quit touching her. What is wrong with these people? Parsnip doesn't care. She's just paranoid.
isn't this enough?
But that's so selfish of him to be like, I want to be with you too, but I'm married and I'm never going to leave my wife. So can't we just keep writing songs, feeling stuff for each other, and isn't this enough? That's not fair to Camilla. That's also not fair to Daisy. Like, you have Camilla, who is like fulfilling your romantic and sexual needs, but Daisy doesn't have anyone else. She's like, you're it for me. And he's like, can't this be enough? Just like the writing. And she's not getting like emotionally fulfilled in any way. Also, I hate that he doesn't say I love her. He just says she's my wife and I'm not gonna leave her. Like, he doesn't say cause I love her. Billy Dunn, I'm gonna fight you. Oh, Camilla saw them. How devastating. I feel like this is in the book when they're like, from then on, Camilla was with them at all times and went on tour with them everywhere because, like, she knew that he could not be left alone. And everyone is hurt except Billy. Billy's just kind of vibing. He's like, I got my like creative love, who I'm also into. I've got my wife, my child. Everyone is absolutely devastated. What is that noise outside? The snow clearing guys are here. That's great. Okay, I will come back with final thoughts once the snow clearing men have left. The snowblower people are gone, so now I can watch the final episode of Daisy Jones and the Six. It's called Rock and Roll Suicide, so not feeling great about that, but let's just do it. That crowd looks fake. So now it's a documentary style with like the text on the screen. We never did get the song where it was just Karen's piano and Daisy's vocals. Man, Karen just done so dirty in this show. I just got a black eye. What happened to you, Eddie? Warren just in denial, kind of tuned out of the drama and is like, hell yeah, rock and roll.
I didn't want to see it.
Are we gonna have like a flashback to what happened earlier in the day? Because everyone's giving each other looks and it's uncertain what happened. Have I just forgotten the last episode? And everyone in the interviews looks like they're gonna cry. Except for Warren.
There's still a lot you don't know.
What is there that we don't know, Billy? Billy drinking? What the fuck? That's different from the book. He does not drink on stage. 10 hours earlier. Oh, this is gonna be a doozy. Rod being like, sound check at 4, everyone in there all just kind of ignoring him a little bit.
I know about
Daisy standard time tells her an hour earlier than everyone else. That's hilarious. Oh yay, Simone and Daisy together.
That's not gonna happen anymore.
Simone turned down a record deal. Yay, Simone. Choosing her truth.
You sentimental bitch. Yes.
Daisy saying, you sentimental bitch. Got the selfish bitch and the sentimental bitch. We love it. We love to see it. Are you gonna get back together with Bernie? You need to tell her. I want to see her and Bernie reconcile. It's kind of interesting how they've decided to cut the concert in between like scenes from earlier in the day.
Right, you said it yourself. It's what people want to see. It's an act. You know that.
The audacity of this man. Billy saying, it's an act. It's what people want to see between me and Daisy. You know that. You were in the kitchen where there was no one around to see you, like with your little foreheads touching. Who is the act for, Billy? Who is the act for?
All right, look.
Why you had this argument in the hallway?
I kissed her.
Whoop. Billy admits that he kissed her. I mean, like, no, he hasn't physically cheated. However, he is very, like, emotionally entangled with her. Camilla knows when she says, tell me you don't love her. And he can't. That's real bad, broski.
You okay?
You gotta tell him, girl. I think this is the most we have to see Graham act. Because most of the time he's just kind of bopping. And now he actually has emotion. Most of the time he's just like happy bopping. So she sort of tells him that she's had an abortion, and he just like walks away. But like in the book, they have this huge blow up fight, and he just says like the wrong thing every single time. Aw, Daisy coming over to give Karen a little snuggle at the piano during the concert. Sweet. I do like the female friendships in here. They are one of the better parts, I would say. There's not enough time for them. Like they aren't on screen enough, but I think they are the more interesting relationships. Here comes Camilla to confront Daisy. If I'm remembering correctly, in the book, they have their conversation after the concert, and like everyone's upset during the concert, and after the concert, Camilla's like, it's over, Daisy. Get out of my life.
You two are so much alike, you know that? You deserve each other.
It is interesting because now we have a shot of Billy playing on his guitar. Like, I mean, Camilla's right, they are very similar, and that's why they're attracted to each other, but it's interesting that they've just had this big fight, kind of the three of them, and both Billy and Daisy are off, like, writing songs about it to, like, process these negative emotions. Oh, just kidding, he's breaking his guitar. Don't do that, sir. But they both turn to music. Whoop, and here's Eddie. Gonna start some fighting or something. He wants to get into it.
Figured I should do it like a man. Tell you in person.
Oh, he's gonna be like, I fucked your wife!
I'm quitting the band.
Oh, no. Okay, he's just saying that he's quitting the band. Okay.
To hear on the master that you re-recorded my parts?
Oh, interesting. They do. So in the book, when they're recording Aurora, like Billy and I think Teddy and like producers like go back and they kind of like fiddle with everything. They let everyone like play the songs as they've been written, as the band wants to do to like have the band's input, and then Billy goes back and works with the producers and like rearranges it how he wants it to be. They don't really address that in the show, but here Eddie's being like, you re-recorded my parts, why did I give up the instrument I wanted for you when you're just like not even using my shit?
I have one moment on stage, and you steal it from me. At our hometown show! My grandmother was at that show.
Oh, it's sad that Eddie didn't get his moment on stage when his grandma was in the audience.
I think you like feeling slighted.
Billy's thinking like Eddie
you
has
need
like
to
a
feel
victim
slighted.
complex. Ooh, he doesn't think Eddie's talented.
Phone me now. Yeah. What don't I know?
Is he gonna say it?
Use your imagination.
Ooh. Man, these people, like, they're terrible at communication, but they're really good at, like, saying things without saying things. Because Eddie's like, you don't even know. And then Billy's like, what does that mean? He's like, use your imagination. Which, like, I mean, obviously I obviously got what he was implying, but like, how the hell would Billy know that? Like, I would just think that he's being like, I'm real good at guitar. I could be the lead singer. And Billy just decks him. Ooh, man, here we go. Man, men sure do like to break things. I think it has worked quite well that they've cut the songs in between the different scenes. So like you have no words when like Karen kind of tells Graham that she's had an abortion and he has no words and leaves her. Or you have, you know, like turn around and look me in the eye where Eddie's just kind of like glaring daggers at Billy like, what is this letter? Are we finally going to figure out what this letter is that Daisy's been carrying around for like half the season? I always forget about it too, and then it pops up and I'm like, oh yeah, what was that? But then I just forget about its existence. Oh, it's pictures of her and her mama dressed the same. It's baby Daisy. What a weird, vaguely ominous thing to send to your child. Look at you as a baby. Look, it's you as a youngster. Like, okay. And she's gonna do coke about it. And kind of with it.
You're not an orphan, you selfish little shit.
Oof.
I'm your mother.
The mom's like, hi, I sent you these pictures because I missed your voice and I wanted to tell you that I think you're selfish. And then now singing about like, if you're gonna let me down easy. Her mama let her down. And they're sharing a mic and they're like 2 milliseconds away from smooching. Get your own mic, you creeps. Okay, maybe Let Me Down Easy is the most Fleetwood Mac sounding song. It's between that and The River. They're both very Fleetwood Mac.
You're gonna be alone forever.
Graham saying you're gonna be alone forever to Karen. Oof, that's hurtful. Okay, once again, I've absolutely bungled this, y'all. So Graham now has had time to like think about it and he's like, I could have gone with you to like hold your hand. And then she's like, that wouldn't have helped because you would have looked like super duper sad about it. And then he says like, you know, relationships are supposed to be like honest, and it's really putting the blame on Karen in this. In the book, during like their big argument, Graham just like says all the wrong things and like won't see her point of view. And I don't know, it feels more like they're equally responsible of like, she knew what she should have known what he wanted, and they should have had a conversation about like, she's like, I just kind of want to like sleep together and like have fun and I don't want it to be a serious thing. And he should have been like, I want a family and I want this to like, you know, I want us to be together properly. And then she's saying like, you know, I'm not having this baby, and he like loses his mind and like says lots of horrible things about it. And this, it's just, it's not giving what it needs to give, y'all. I don't know how to say this. I keep thinking Billy and Daisy are gonna like kiss on stage. They're so close. Get your own mic, you freaks. Don't look at her like that. He's got like his arms wrapped around her. I can definitely see how they would be compelling on stage. Like, I feel like this one, you've kind of seen the most, like they have that chemistry on stage that you're like, oh my God, are they together? Like, what's happening? They're very fascinating.
If there's any part of you that wants to make this work, please just come to the show
He's
tonight.
trying to call his wife. He's like, if you want to make this work, come to the show. And I'm like, dear God, I hope she doesn't come to this show. You look very into Daisy in this show. I think this is the most intimate he's looked with Daisy on stage that we've seen. I would not want my wife to see me like that with another woman. That would be horrifying.
You do realize who this is, right?
Oh, Billy. Man, Billy is looking like that drink is the only thing that's gonna save him. No, don't do it, don't. Oh, no. Billy's drinking, Daisy is doing all the things, drinking and drugs, and that's really cool outfit she's got too.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, you are in the biggest band in the fucking world right now.
Warren calling Eddie out. Oh. And he's like, maybe I want more out of life than you, Warren. And Warren's like, yeah, I got $1,000 champagne. I have a movie star girlfriend. Like, doesn't get much better than that. I think they both kind of have a point where Warren is saying like, sure, you're not the lead musician, but like, you are in this world famous band, you're making hella money, you're famous, you're living the life, like why can't you be content with that? Yeah, snippies. And Eddie is like, you know, I want more than that. And I mean, definitely part of this is about Camilla, which I hate that part, but like, it's fair that he's ambitious and that he wants more input in the creative process, because the band feels like it's Daisy Jones, Billy Dunn, and the other guys. And it's fair to want to be a little more involved in the music you're making and, you know, given more credit and more input. But then also Warren's right, like, you are in one of the biggest bands, and like, does it really matter if you're getting that credit? I think both points are valid, and it just really depends on the kind of person you are, whether you're a Warren or an Eddie.
I need my girls.
I think when Billy says I need my girls, like, it's kind of a call for help. Like, I am really in danger of ruining my sobriety. Simone was going to perform with Daisy in the 6th. This is not in the book, I'm pretty sure, but I like this change. I think this is an excellent change. Rod noticing that Billy's not doing so hot. That is definitely not something someone who is okay would say. Kitten containment has begun. Ooh, I love what Simone brings to the river. I'm so good together. Should be Simone Jackson, Daisy Jones in the 6th. Oh, I love this. I mean, Daisy's definitely drugged out of her mind, but this is like a really sweet onstage moment with Simone. Unfortunately, everything else is absolutely awful, but that was lovely.
She's not here, is she? Camilla, is she here?
Oh, Billy, just looking for his wife.
Not here either.
Sir. I gotta say, Sam Claflin has done a really good job of making me like feel bad for Billy when I probably shouldn't. I'm like, you were bad and you've had like an emotional affair and you kissed a woman who wasn't your wife. But like, when he's really struggling, I am also struggling. So kudos to you. You have made him very sympathetic. Get that ball out of your mouth, bad boy. She is no longer sober. And this is also different because in the book, I need to double check this, but my boyfriend has the book. But from what I can remember, in the book, Billy has a drink, if that, and he's sitting at the bar like really struggling, and like a fan comes up and is like talking to him, and it kind of manages to help him not have the second drink, or potentially not even have the first drink. I can't remember, but helps him kind of like knock him out of that and like manages to get him to like go on to the show. Daisy gives Simone a big smooch. She is wasted and high. No! No! Oh! Get out of here. Oh, I hate this. This is also a change. Daisy notices he's drinking and doesn't really seem to feel any sort of way about it. She's like, you're drinking again. And I can't tell if the expression on her face is kind of like, ooh, he's come to the dark side a little bit and like, now we can be together.
On drums, a man who keeps time like a Rolex and who cuts grooves like a knife.
I love the intro to Warren. He snubs Eddie on stage. Billy, you dick. Okay, we finally hear her piano.
On bass, it's Eddie Roundtree. All right, wait, let's try that again, shall we? The master of the low-end hammer. The man,
Okay.
the face
He like snubs Eddie, and then he goes, on the bass is Eddie, and then he's like, okay, here's the actual. Okay, that's much better.
I love you, brother. Go fuck yourself. You're dead.
This is unhinged, y'all. They are nuts. Oh, Camilla's at the show. Billy doesn't know she's there, and he kissed Daisy, and he's drinking. I think it kind of shows how Camilla's like holds him together, which is dangerous because you can't just rely on one person for sobriety. She's watching her husband sing a love song that he wrote for her to another woman really intimately. Are they kissing? They look like they're kissing. They're like literally like this far apart from each other, like this far. Yuck, it's so messy and I hate everything. Oh, now they're making out backstage. I hate this. This is the worst. Ugh. I am good. They're like almost having sex. And Daisy's like, what is this? And Billy says, she left me, she's leaving.
Billy.
What?
He's like shaking. Is he pouring cocaine or something? I can't tell, it's too dark. And then Graham's telling Karen he loves her and that he'll do what she wants and like be on tour forever. And she's like, you don't want that. And he's like, yeah, I do.
Just say you feel the same, and we'll be fine.
She doesn't feel the same way.
I'm so sorry, Graham.
She doesn't feel the same way. Oh, and Billy's done cocaine. Daisy's like, no, that's not who you are. And he's like, hell yeah, be me. We can be broken together. She's like, that's not what I asked for. I wanted us to be whole together.
You and me, we're broken. Let's just be broken together.
I hate this.
Let's just be broken
you
together.
guys. Daisy's like, this is not it. I just need to scratch all the skin off my body. This is awful. I hate it so much. It's garbage. Trash. And everyone just had a giant blow up backstage and on stage and just everywhere. It was bad, and then they were like maybe getting better, and then they were on stage, and then it was like, woo! And then it was after, and they was like, oh god, everything's bad, and now they're like, look at us now, and everyone's like, I want fucking to be off the stage so I can leave everyone.
Love can be peace.
Daisy saying that love can be peace, but like, she's never known that.
And if you're lucky enough to find somebody who lifts you up, even when you don't deserve it, that's where the light is.
That's like Billy's love with Camilla. Oh, that's the point, maybe? Is she saying that that's what Camilla is for Billy and that like he should go back to her? That kind of sounds like maybe it is. Oh, Billy, no crying on stage, my dear child. Not child, my dear dum-dum. Crowd singing for Billy because he can't do it. Oh, I'm a sucker for a crowd singing song. Like, I hate this, but it gets me chills every time. Just letting him leave. And now the lyrics for Look at Us Now work for everyone's situation. Which, like, yeah. I'm like, I get it. It works incredibly well in the show. If this wasn't based on a book and they didn't change the lyrics, then like I wouldn't be upset about it, because now it's like, how do we get here? How do we get out of this situation where everyone's like majorly fucked up and done everything wrong in their relationships? And that's really great, and it works really well in the show. I do kind of like Daisy like singing at the band, and everyone's like, I mean, we're just having a grand old time, but everyone else is like singing as well, and they're also like, yeah, it's really bad, Daisy. You're right. Everything sucks. Look at us now. It's shit. It's awful. I'm assuming she says something along the lines of like, it's over, we're done, the band broke up, we cheated, everyone's on drugs.
How could she possibly ever love you better than I do?
She just sees me. All of me.
And I don't.
I don't let you.
I disagree with that.
You think I don't see every side of you?
Thank you, Camilla. She's like, of course I see every side of you. We've been together since I was 18. He doesn't give her enough credit. It's not that she doesn't see every side of him, it's that she sees that, but she also sees what he could be, and she knows that, like, with support and love and being surrounded by the right people, he can be the best version of himself, and she sees his struggle and that he can be better, and she works towards helping him be better, rather than Daisy, who he just sees like, she sees the deepest, darkest parts of me, but it's that Daisy is like the darkest parts of him, and that she can help make him worse. And that, like, yeah, she sees the dark parts of you, but she also doesn't try and make you better. Like, she doesn't go, like, that's rough, like, let me help you to someplace better. She goes, that's rough, me too, let's keep doing it. Or at least that's how he interprets her, because he was like, we can be broken together, and like Daisy wants to be better, but she doesn't know how. She's not in a place to like help herself, let alone Billy, be better. And so he was like, yeah, let's just like, you know, my wife left me, let's just go down together, hand in unlovable hand. Thank you, mountain goats. Like, let's go. And Camilla's like, no, I know who you are 100%. I'm hoping you will be the best. I'm trying to help you be the best man.
I remember a lot more than you think, Dad.
Similarly to in the book, the twist is that the interviewer is Billy and Camilla's child, Julia. I had to replace the battery, so we might be a little different. But in the book, Daisy like comes out from the concert. She's like high out of her mind, and Camilla like sees her and helps her get into her room, and Julia's with Camilla, so they kind of like are sitting in Daisy's hotel room talking, and Camilla like lays it out and is like, you have to stop this. You're ruining my family, you're ruining my life, you're ruining my daughter's life, you're ruining Billy's life, you're ruining your life. You need to get out of here. This can't keep happening. This is over. We're done. This is over. The band's done. I'm gonna take my husband and like take care of him, and you need to go figure out your own shit, because you're a disruptive force in our life and we can't have this. And here it's Julia being like, I remember you and Mom fighting. And it's, yeah, I feel like it's pretty impactful. Like, I mean, I know who the interviewer is, I know the twist and everything, so for me it's not like, oh, shock factor. I don't know, it's like a quicker impact. You can see how Billy's like, oh my god, my daughter remembers this. But you see such a short part, just like that they're crying.
I'll work for it. I promise.
Billy's leaving Camilla. He said he'd work for it, but she still kicked him out, which is fair.
Teddy's gonna go ahead and make all the
So and
arrangements.
Teddy getting Daisy help.
Thank you.
I like that. I can't remember in the book who helps Daisy get sober. Maybe it's Simone, but I don't know. Either way, I like that it's Simone in the show. If it's a change, it's a good change. If it's not, then like, good job, Taylor Jenkins Reid. Also, Simone just always looks incredible. That woman is the best dressed out of all of them, the best styled. I'm not sure if Daisy and Billy really loved each other. I mean, like, we know Billy didn't really love Daisy fully. He liked that she reflected the bad parts of himself back, so he doesn't feel as bad about himself, whereas I think when he's with Camilla, he's like, she's so perfect, and like, I love her, but it also feels like I am not perfect enough for her, and I have to strive to be better, whereas with Daisy, I think he thinks that she's just as bad as I am, and so I don't have to be any better. I can be my worst self around her, and like, I don't feel guilty about it because she's as bad, if not worse than me. I mean, like, there's a creative thing too. She brings that out, and she's like an artist, and she's an artist like he is, and I think he loves that too, but I think subconsciously he's so drawn to her because he doesn't feel like he has to work to be better. And it's easier, you know, if you don't have to work to be better, it's just easier to be like, I am my worst self, you have to accept me or else, and not try any harder to be better.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to tell everybody Daisy's leaving.
Based on that talking with Rod, Daisy must have whispered in his ear after the show that she was leaving, that she's like, I'm done. Maybe for rehab, or maybe just like, I'm done with the band. And then Eddie's not happy. Warren's like, hey, buddy. And Eddie's like, sober. Oh, he gets into a taxi and he's like, peace, y'all. There's a lot of people not talking to each other, but just like facial expressioning at each other, and they all just like know what they mean. I guess it's kind of because they've been like on tour for so long together that they just know each other's signals, but I kind of wish a few of the things had been said more explicitly. Graham, are you gonna get on the tour bus? It's just gonna be Warren by himself. Graham puts down his guitar and walks away.
I wanted to be a rock and roll star, to travel the world and play
And
music for strangers.
Karen gets to be
And that's what I did.
a musician. Good for her.
It's what I still do.
I moved back home to
Graham
Hazelwood.
bought a house in his hometown.
I fell in love.
Had the boo-boos.
Started a family. Probably still be pining after her if she hadn't been brutally honest with me that night.
I mean, he still clearly feels something for her. But again, I think it's an idealized version of like, he's like, I want Karen who wants to have a family with me, which is not who she is. Because you can see in the Talking Heads in previous things where he clearly, like, she feels a little bit like the one that got away to him.
I mean, I told him what he needed to hear. But I wasn't being honest with him.
Told me what he needed to hear, but I wasn't being honest with him? What part wasn't she honest about? That she didn't love him? Because I think she was honest that he wouldn't be happy being on tour with her all the time. So it must have been the part where she's not in love with him. So she does feel the same way, but she's like, this isn't the life you want. Eddie formed his own band.
My own band.
With Graham? Wait, who was that?
We're bad.
Oh, that's Eddie with like the weird punk hair?
I'm still out there playing gigs. My life's fine. It's
That looked like old Graham, not like Eddie at all. That wig was awful. They shouldn't have done that. That was bad. So now he's kind of like does his own music thing, Eddie, and it's fine. He hasn't really got exactly what he wanted. And I think this proves to the viewer that like Warren was right. He should have just been happy with being part of the biggest band in the world.
I've been a session drummer for years now.
Warren's a session drummer and is contributing
records,
to awesome music.
Classics.
Married the movie star. And you have 2 little girls.
No one asked me to sign their tits anymore, but that's okay. Actually, that's not true. He says sometimes she'll, just to be nice.
I get the part in where he's like, sometimes my wife will ask me to sign her tits just to be nice because I miss it.
Bernie and I, we opened this club.
And they got back together, Bernie and Simone. Yay, and they own a club together. Oh.
Sometimes I even get up there myself.
I'm pretty sure in the book, like, she has like an incredible disco career. And I kind of want that to be more in this too, because when she's on screen, they call her like disco pioneer or whatever. And I guess maybe it was like she had a resurgence after she had first, like, her stuff got popular later.
I was heartbroken when they fell apart, more than I've been with any other band.
I think I kind of wish Rod had been with them earlier in the series, because he's like, oh, like, I'm so heartbroken that they broke up, and like you see him really caring for the members, like when he takes the like drugs away from the fan who's trying to give them to Billy. But it just feels kind of all of a sudden. I kind of wish he had been there a bit earlier in the career so you could have seen that relationship form more.
in '83. They found him hunched over a soundboard after another.
That's grim. He died hunched over a soundboard. So I'm trying to remember. Once again, I don't have the book with me at the moment, but I'm pretty sure in the book Teddy dies before their last concert, or just after. Like, it's like pretty close to there, and that is part of what leads Billy to break down. And I think that was more impactful. There's the very sweet moment in the show where Billy's calling Teddy to hear his voice, and it's like kind of a cry for help, but he doesn't quite manage to like explain himself. And it's like very sweet. I think seeing how Teddy's death like devastated Billy in the book, and like that kind of being like a tipping point, I think adds a bit more depth to Billy's character rather than having it all just be about like Camilla and Daisy all the time. I think, yeah, I don't know, I think I like it in the book better. Like most of the things. Shocking. Oh, Warren and Daisy still making music together. That's interesting as well, because I mean, in the book it doesn't get as bad as the show. Like Billy, again, I can't remember if it's one drink or like he doesn't drink at all, but he almost drinks. But he manages to kind of like rein himself in for his wife, and he doesn't have anything else with Daisy. And again, like, who knows in the book what actually happens, because it's all told through these people's perspectives. So it's possible that like the way it happens in the TV show could very well have been what happened in real life, but they're just not saying it. I don't know. But based on what we hear in the book, kind of him and Camilla have like a rough time, but manage to like kind of work through it together. Whereas here he's like, he had to like work on himself to get her back, which I think is maybe, I'm not sure if it's better. I don't like how bad things got in the show, but I do like that he has to like do some serious work to like win her back. In the book, she's like almost saint-like, again, because she's like dead. But I do like in the show that he has to like work hard to get her back, because I think in the book sometimes it seems like Camilla's a little too forgiving. Like, she isn't naive to what Billy is, but she has, I think, such a strong belief in who he can be and like who the best version of him is, that she sometimes lets him get away with stuff that like most people wouldn't. But again, it's not never as bad in the book as it is in the show, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying with this. I like that he has to work hard to get her back. And I think that would have been nice in the book a little bit more, but
I mean, she was the reason I joined the band.
Oh.
You know I would have been there. At the funeral.
Eddie didn't go to the funeral because he was like, I don't think I would have been welcome. Oh, Graham can't talk about it. I mean, Camilla's like a friggin' saint, so.
What's crazy is that anyone even remembers the six.
Warren named his ship Aurora. I'm sorry about the cat noises. They're hungry and they have an hour to go.
Would you ever want to do it again?
Wait, just going, y'all. Hinting maybe like hook up with my dad.
I don't know how your mother would have felt about that.
Instead of leaving a note, it's a recording.
Until Daisy
Camilla's still masterminding even in the afterlife. So in the book, Camilla leaves a letter saying like basically the same thing, like tell your dad to give Daisy Jones, or like Billy called Daisy. And then like that's all we know. We don't know if he actually does or not. And here we see, again, it's like a little ambiguous, like he does go to see Daisy and they smile and they see each other. But again, like you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if they'll get together, if it'll be too much, if they'll just be friends, whatever. So I'm not too mad about that change because I think it does still leave you with that kind of like ambiguity of whether or not they will get together. In the book, when they're singing Honeycomb at that last song, Daisy sings it the way that Billy had originally written it. Again, as a way of being like, it's over, go back to your wife, like, we can't keep doing this kind of thing. I think it did work well in this, that like Daisy's kind of singing at him to be like, leave. And I don't think it would have played as well in a TV show because it's harder to hear like the lyrics that they're necessarily singing. And you would have to have like a talking head intercut to be like, she sang it the way I originally wrote it. And you'd have to kind of spell it out a little more clearly. So I understand why you couldn't put that in the show, but I think it's such an emotional moment in the book with her kind of finally like ceding to him a little bit, being like, I'm gonna stop. I'm taking myself out of here. So I think that my favorite episode might still be episode 7, just because of Simone. I love Simone. I think that's my favorite part of the show is Simone. My least favorite part of the show is Karen, because I love her so much in the book, and they've absolutely decimated her character in the show. They did her so dirty, and for that alone, I hate the showrunners. I feel like I have very mixed feelings around Billy and Daisy in this. I think the actor for Billy is incredible. The actress for Daisy, I like towards the end of the show, I'm like, okay, it's more Daisy-ish, but I didn't like who Daisy was. I didn't like how she played her at the beginning of the show. I think that I could see their chemistry a little bit clearer in the show than in the book, but I am ultimately a Camilla Billy lover, so I don't like it. I think that some of the changes they made for Camilla, I'm talking. This is how I pay for your food. Just kidding, I don't make any money off of this. I think some of the changes they made for Camilla were good, like they kind of show her standing up for herself a little bit, but then some of the changes were less good. Like, for example, when she joins them on tour for a little bit and she like brings Billy to like the party where everyone's doing drugs and drinking, I didn't like that. I thought that in the book she was always, that was kind of like one of her primary concerns was like, has he relapsed? Because she knows how hard it is for him. Warren was really good in this. I thought he was pretty funny and like added a good amount of like humor. And I think he kind of played the part of Pete a little bit in the book, where Pete's like, I'm just here making music. I loved Simone in this. She was so good. Yeah, everything between Karen and Graham, they just bungled all of that entirely. It was so bad. They made Karen look so like conniving and like manipulative. Like she doesn't like Graham until he's got a girlfriend. And then she's like, oh, maybe he's kind of cute after all. And then she knows how he feels about her, but like continues to pursue a relationship even though she just wants to like hook up. And like she joins the band because she thinks they're going far as opposed to the other band. They just make her seem so like such a snake in this, and she's not that at all. So I think that is the biggest betrayal in this show. I did like the music in this show. It was very fun. I did have Look at Us Now stuck in my head forever, but I'm also sad that we didn't get some of the like iconic lines that Taylor Jenkins Reid wrote for the song. It was interesting because I was talking to my parents about the show because my mom's watching it as well, and obviously they were around in the 70s and I was not, but she was saying that how the clothes are like not quite right, like it's like an imitation of the 70s, but it's not super authentic, which I just thought was interesting. Like she was saying some of the guys' shirts were like, and like the guys' clothes were kind of closer, but that like the girls' clothes were like, not really. It's like definitely like the 2020s do the 1970s. It's not actually what things were like. Ultimately, I mean, I still like the book like a million times better than the show. I think that they did a good job on the drama of the show. Like it was very dramatic. You were really like, even if I didn't enjoy what was happening on the screen, I was still very like emotionally invested, whether that was like absolute disgust and horror or like feeling bad for people. So I think they did a good job on that. An adaptation of something that you love is almost never going to be as good as the original thing that you loved. And it's really hard to get rid of that original image that you have in your head or your original impressions of something. So it's difficult to view this objectively. If you haven't read the book, let me know how you feel about this show, because I think if I hadn't read the book, I would have enjoyed it more. I still think I would have enjoyed the last 4 episodes better because there's a lot more plot, it's a lot more interesting, it's more fast-paced, more drama. Definitely the first few, like the first 3 were like kind of rough. And then like as it progressed, it got better, but the last 4 were like the best ones. But yeah, I would love to know how you guys feel about all this. I've been having such a good time chatting in the comments with you. It feels very validating when you agree with me. And it's also interesting to see other people's perspectives. For example, like last time I was saying Simone doesn't get angry enough at Daisy, but then someone pointed out that like that would kind of fall into like the angry black woman stereotype. And so it was nice that she didn't have that aspect, which I hadn't thought about. But was such an excellent point, so thank you for that comment. Someone else also had a good comment about Eddie that kind of made me appreciate him a bit more as well. I did like in this last episode how Eddie was, like most of his complaints were about the band, and I don't know if it was supposed to be that like that was kind of a front for his feelings about Camilla, but I do like when Eddie's more concerned about the band than the like love triangle stuff. I think the Eddie Camilla thing shouldn't have been in there and just added unnecessary drama. Like, I don't know if they were like, we already have Karen who was just concerned about being a rock star. We can only have one person be concerned about that. And that's why they had Eddie also have like this thing for Camilla. I think Eddie was at his best when he was just upset about Billy trying to like have all of the like star power and everything in the group and not letting other people give input. But yeah, so those I think are my final thoughts. This has been a fun series. Thank you so much for watching this video and my other videos. I really appreciate y'all. Thanks for helping me get over 200 subscribers. That's been really cool. And next month, it will be back to just book content for the most part. I know this is a book channel. Don't worry, I have not forgotten. We'll get back to the book stuff in April. But I really appreciate y'all stopping by my channel and hanging out, and I really hope you stick around and that I see you next time. Now, go read Daisy Jones and the Six. I think you'll really like it. Okay, bees, we're done. Ow, pow, pow. Okay. In the book, because, oh, so much. Okay, hold on. Gotta organize my thoughts. I think, what do I think? Okay.